video. In today's video, I'm going to be giving a quick guide on how to play the new survivor, Veeronica in Forsaken in the new Get 666 update. So, before anything, let's get into it. Alrighty, first things first is you're going to see perform moves, vandalism, escape, broadcast, and activate battery. So, you know, we're going to start with vandalism as this is the first ability you'll probably use or see. Vandalism brings out a spray can, and if you hold left click on a wall or an object, and just walls mainly, it'll place down a spray paint onto that wall. And you'll see it has a huge hitbox. You know, you can walk in and it's turning green. And you might not have noticed that it activates her ability called Skate. Her ability Skate, whenever in this huge green hitbox, you can use the ability. You can use Skate. And if you're not in a hitbox, and you try it, it'll say you must be in the graffiti zone to skate, and this is a graffiti zone, obviously. Alright. Oh yeah, and the thing about skate is that if you go Alright, if you go towards the wall, you'll see her glow pink. And when she glows pink, you can press space or whatever your jump keybind is, I'm assuming. I only play on PC. Whatever your jump keybind is, assumably, and it'll make you, you know, do a good jump. That gives you a small speed boost and 10 extra stamina. So it'll see again. Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, so that is skate right there in a nutshell. I mean, it's really, you know, not what skate can do. We'll get more into skate a bit later. Actually, don't get into skate more right now. Her next ability is broadcast. Now you'll see broadcast has 3 modes: phase, bumper, and mobile. What phase does is whenever you hit a wall, it'll let you bounce off. Which is nice, you know, because whenever the other abilities, they just give you 15 damage and, you know, force you to stop. And when you hit a killer, it gives you speed 4 for like 2 seconds and resistance 2 for like 4 seconds or 3 seconds. Which is very useful if you're going to the killer. We'll see. You can just do as much time as you want. Like you can even bounce into him and do it and all that. Our next ability is going to be bumper, so let our test subject, you know. Alright, the thing about bumper is whenever you run into a wall, it's not like phase, you'll hit a wall and you'll get swollen forward for about 3 seconds and you'll take 15 damage. But the good thing about bumper is that if you hit a killer with it, it knocks them back, and pretty far too. Like it has some crazy knockback, to say the least. Here, let's get into them again. Let's get better vandalism. Alright, and you can see if I get into them, I get this pretty far. More than guests charge for whatever reason. Pretty dumb. Yeah. And then mobile. Alright. Sorry. The thing about mobile is whenever you go onto a wall, you can see you bounce off and your character will move wherever your camera is, right? You know. There's nothing else, you know, it'll go to where your camera is. But that's just normal skateboard. The thing about it though is whenever I bounce off a wall, I get like 1 more second of that control when I land. You get 1 second of it after you land again. See how I just skated around even like when I landed? That's what it does for like about 1 second you get that ability. And, you know, I explained all the broadcasts. Now on to our 4th ability, activate battery. Now activate battery is how Veeronica heals. It's the entire way Veeronica can heal at all. Cause she can't have pizzas or medkits as she is a robot. You know? So she just can't heal from Elliot pizzas or medkits at all. Which basically means this is the only way for her to heal. So, and it goes off this battery percentage up here, which you can get from doing generators. You can get from doing 3 trips in a row, so bounce off the wall 3 times in a row. You can't see it go up, but it goes up by a little bit whenever you do that. each generator puzzle, it goes up by 7%, I'm pretty sure. So that's pretty nice. And whenever you use it, it can heal a maximum of 50% HP for every 2% battery is 1 HP for you. So you see, I just healed up to 100 health again, and I have 40% battery left. I'm gonna show you that skate can. You'll see 45% now, and yeah, every single silly tricks you do, you don't get that. So those are the very basic moves for Veeronica, and you know, that's cool and all, but you can't really do, I mean, you can do a lot with it, you know, you can go around the map, you know, you can do all of that. So, let me give you some tips and strategies to use against, or not against, using Veeronica. So first things first is you would probably like to hug the walls like this, so that way you can just bounce whenever. Sometimes it may bounce you back a little, which is, you know, it's unfortunate when that happens, but you'll just get used to it. You know, practice makes perfect, as they say. And those are just, you know, just hug the wall as a nice little tip. You know, try your very best to get your vandalism in a bit more of a hidden spot. For this area right here, you can't really hide it that well. There's not really much place to hide it. And now onto the most overpowered technique as Veeronica. Probably the most overpowered easily. You can fly. You can wall hop across the entire map as Veeronica. I'll show you right here. I'll give you an example. As you can see, I just wall hopped across the entire map without even using, I didn't even use more than 50 stamina doing that. Which is very overpowered. You can do this just, you know, on any wall basically. Now you can just wall hop basically. Hey guys, that's gonna end my guide on how to play Veeronica. And remember, some tips are, don't let your stamina zero out during your skate. Always end it before it reaches 0, and try to hide your vandalism as much as you can. And if you can't, that's perfectly fine. But it's always better to keep them more out of sight. And remember, practice makes perfect for this character. You won't learn her right away.